Hello and welcome to episode 41 of our Timberborn Update 7 Folktails Hard Mode playthrough here in cycle 51, day 17. 15 and a half days left in the drought cycle. Man, we've been in this playthrough a long time. But we're having fun. We got a lot of stuff still to do, and we're going to try to get as much done today as we possibly can. But last time, we started building this... it's not the only thing going to go up here, mind you. A couple of you expressed concern that we haven't built out the rest of this. It's coming. Don't worry. But we put in all of this new beaver housing. And now we have some more space. As soon as we, start unpausing these for some beavers to come in, we've got some Lidos here, and we have our Fountain of Joy. Wow, indeed. And I asked you guys last episode, toward the end, how you would feel about putting in some interesting-looking roofing over here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. A lot of you guys really liked the idea. So if I go ahead and I put in just right there, nice and easy, and come up here with our decorative is the correct word, stuff like that, and just do one of these numbers. I think that looks pretty cool, and it seems you guys agree, so very happy to see that. Go ahead and pause those two roofing pieces so we can get the rest of these in with the help of some ladders, and we're going to let them chew on that for a little while. I guess pun kind of intended. But a thing you guys talked about a little bit last episode, and I may have briefly mentioned, was what to do about food storage for this new area. And I really, really like the idea of tunneling into this little area here and having an underground food cave. Like, I know those of you who are not Americans may not be aware of this. Apparently, the United States government at one point was storing a large quantity of cheese in some caves. I don't know everything about that. I just thought that was absolutely wild that you could have a cave dedicated to storing industrial quantities of cheese owned by the government. But it is what it is. So I guess we're going to... we don't have cheese in Timberborn, but we can have the food caves, I guess we could call it. And we can have these tunnels lead the way here. This is the bottom of the map, this 0 right here. So we do have some space to blast down. 2 levels here, and then we have these 2 levels above this. So we could actually have a pretty robust food storage system available for us here. I think it's probably going to make the most sense to go ahead and peel this back to the level we're going to be working with. Keep in mind, we do have to be able to, get these guys in here from this general area. So if we came in, just nice and centered like this, and then we started by digging out this bit here. We'll go, there we go. I want 1 by 2, not 2 by 2. There we go. 1 by 2. Peel this back. So this is where the entrance would be. I'm going to go one more just so we can, dig the rest of this out without it being visible. But since this is layer 2, this is layer 3. I can't blast these away because that is the top of the ground. So this level right here would actually be the top. So we'd have them blast this out. And then we can, continue blasting all of this, but we're going to have to go down one more level. And we're going to need to be careful when we remove these platforms that are left behind because, entire large pieces of land can be removed in rather unsavory ways. So, just to recap on food types. Well, I guess we could just click on the well-being. We have carrots, sunflower seeds, grilled potatoes, grilled chestnuts, grilled spatterdock bread, cattail crackers, and maple pastries for a grand total of 8 types of food. We also have water, which we're going to have to put somewhere, but that I don't think we're going to have the height to take care of that way. So what's going to make the most sense, I think, is to plan for 8 of these large storages, which we can put in just like that. These guys are going to have their work cut out for them for sure. So this would be for 4, and then, we can also continue going this way, but I think I want to leave most of this as far alone as I can. So this would be 4, this would be 6, and this would be 8. Note that we do have above this several blocks. We have the underground ruins, and actually, I'm glad we did this way, because this is going to end up being exposed. We can either choose to move where we're putting this stuff to be somewhere else, or we can come back over here and we can just say, you know what? We're going to fill that in with some terrain blocks. Would not be out of place at all for us to go ahead and put in something like this, and that would completely hide that and, still look pretty good. So that is going to be the first level here. And then we'll, of course, have to come back in and blast out the rest of this below that, and then very carefully take out these things. I think I'm going to leave the platforms in the middle. Why is the game still paused? I think I'm going to leave the platforms in the middle here, and then take these out on the side. That shouldn't break any of the span limits. Did that guy just disappear through the corner? Maybe not. That's very strange that it was going to allow them to do that. Anyway, at any rate, they're going to be working on that. We have, again, plenty of other stuff to do today, and I do want to continue talking about it as we're able to do what we're going to be able to do. This set of dams right here is very good that we've had this, and we had it in place to, you know, keep some water in, and when the bad water is coming through here, that was a whole thing. But a lot of you, and by a lot of you I mean at least 2 or 3, have said that you want to see the water in this area be deeper. So I think what's going to make the most sense is for us to put a second level on top of this, and then just, you know, replace these dam pieces with terrain or levees or something, because that is going to, you know, one, keep it filled longer during droughts that theoretically shouldn't ever dry out. And 2, it's going to, you know, take up a little bit more of this space that we otherwise weren't going to use, or could do something differently in a slightly different way. That's how that doing differently works. But I think it's not going to be a negative impact to anything we've already built or planted. It should be just fine. So, you know, there's not a lot of water left here. It is quite low. In fact, it's so low I can't actually move the camera any lower because this is already the bottom of the map. But I think I would be correct in saying that this is going to be totally fine to get rid of. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in this right here. We don't need to come to this other side and do anything here, because once this gets blasted out, what's going to happen here is this will just go in this way, kind of fill this up, and then go right out the outside there. And we won't have to worry about anything. It's just going to keep this 1 block higher. Now, they also can't reach this currently, so we are going to have to give them a little bit of an assist here. Should have no problems putting that in place, and then, you know, we'll just do what we got to do. This water will probably be evaporated before the end of this drought anyway, so we don't need to really be rushing around. But let's come back here and check on our explosions. Looking good, looking good. All right, good. Before we get too wild and crazy, I do want to go ahead and get the rest of this, at least this very first bit, excavated. I'm going to take these as well, because I'm going to have to get the stairs going down. That's going to be something we have to do expeditiously. And they shouldn't have any problems getting the rest of this. Hopefully not. I mean, I guess I can keep putting in paths here, but it'll be fine. We got plenty of bots; they can figure it out. We have bots that aren't even working either. Need to get that taken care of expeditiously. We just keep on cranking out more bots, and like I don't know what to do with them. Like we can't possibly use all these. And I don't think I really need to have any more builders. Hauling stuff is honestly probably okay forever. Like, honestly, I don't know what else we could possibly be doing. But we'll just, you know, just do what we gotta do. Those are marked for bots. That's totally fine. And then once we have food and stuff over here, I think we're going to be in good shape. Remember, we do have the zipline station here. That eventually is almost certainly going to have another connection somewhere else, but for right now, this is what we have. Do what you can with what you got. That's what we always talk about here. We're probably about to get to the point where I'm going to have to put in some more stuff here, but I wanted to make sure that all of this was, in fact, taken care of. So, as soon as they stop being able to blast this out, then that's when I'll come in and take at least this one thing out here so I can actually get the stairs down that way. And then we'll see what we can see. Yeah, just have to leave that alone for a little while. Now, in terms of drinking water, and, well, I guess technically that's the only thing the beavers can consume, because this isn't the Iron Teeth. There's no coffee, and this isn't Ember Pelt, so there's not all the 5 or 6 different flavors of juice you can have. So that's something to think about. Something else somebody somebody mentioned in the comments is that we actually don't have to have a 5x5 area for this building to exist. So, I have to be very careful how I go in here and put this in. But I noticed I can, you know, get away with putting in terrain and make this a little bit more accessible. I think we're going to do that. More accessible as in, hey, we don't have to just have this giant pool of water for stuff to evaporate. Obviously, we can't have the path going underneath it, but it will look substantially better like this, I think. Again, just kind of leave it alone, see what we can do. Alright, making some progress here. Continuing there. How are we looking over here? Good, they got it taken care of. So now, I cannot remove the dam without the thing on top going away. So I'm 99.9% sure there's absolutely nothing bad that can happen as a result of me removing all of these. However, comma, I'm still going to do it in bits and pieces because that is just the relationship I have with trusting video games and things that happen with the beavers. So, come back and take care of all this. I know the log number is lower than most of us are going to be comfortable with. That's just the way it goes. We're going to be okay. Don't worry. We do have to also expand this. I have not forgotten. But it is very easy. It is very easy to just ignore that. So I'm glad I caught that. How are we looking here? Remember, we're going to get a lot of this wood back too. And there's other stuff over here we can do. A couple people were like, hey, why are you even bothering to expand this? You're not even going to use the water. Well, I don't know, because we can. Sometimes it's just fun to do stuff, you know? Not everything has to have a purpose. But I will admit, I was envisioning doing most of the reservoir expansion in service of increasing our capacity and making it so we're not just dumping all of the water all of the time. But you know how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and take this out, take this out, take this out, and then in we go with a staircase. And then underneath, if I can get a good handle on it, there we go. Get that path in there, and then I can come right in here, and I can delete that, and I can delete that. And that's going to get us a pretty substantial quantity of planks, and then I can put these warehouses in very, very easily. Just like so, we can start bringing food in. That is going to be fun. So, these four right here, I guess I probably should just go just straight the way around the food thing. There are 9. There are 9 things available. I'm not going to be worried about storing berries over here. We don't need to worry about that. So, bread, carrots, and then the next 2 are going to be blah, 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 and then this is going to be maple pastries. Yes, please use those exact phrases. It's easier for me to think in terms of just do it all in a row, do it all in a specific sequence, and then you don't have to worry about things anymore. But now we don't have a lot of wood left, so we are going to have to wait for some of these trees to be harvested. It is a continuous process. We will recover all of our stuff. It's totally fine. We just had to, you know, keep all this stuff filled up. The FPS is actually starting to lag. I'm kind of impressed. Planks-wise, though, I think it's probably about time for us to remove the rest of these extra planks we popped in here in the places that we already talked before about grabbing those from. So if I just take all that out, please do not explode everything. Thank you. I know there's more of these I could remove. I unfortunately do not have that level of trust in myself to just do this in a thing I am making videos about. So it's a whole lot harder to come back from the unbearable shame of making such an enormous, ridiculous, insane mistake in a video series that thousands of people are watching, which is actually incredible that that's a thing that happens. But I digress. I'm just going to leave most of the rest of this stuff in here and let them just do what they got to do. And we have other stuff to talk about as well, I just haven't gotten to yet. Don't worry, there's plenty to address. We are not going to be short on things to do this episode or the next couple. because this series does need to end sometime soon. Cause now we started the update 7 with the Iron Teeth. We got new water beavers and all that stuff. Like, there's not enough time in the week for me to do enough content for all 3 of these series and you know, make everybody happy. So, not gonna wind this one down unnecessarily early, but we do need to make pretty good progress the next couple of these episodes before things start running out of time even more. Now let's come back over here. See, I had to blast this open so we could actually fill this up. Put in some of that, and then I will put in these dams here, and then we'll do the same thing off to the side. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but I do want to have at least these 2 in the middle before I remove any of this stuff. That should be okay. Things are progressing nicely here. Very good. Just want to be able to put in another one of these before we get too much further. Okay, so now take that out. Take that out. There'll be another 2 large warehouses. And remember that this is going to be the 3rd entry, which is cattail crackers. This one's going to be the 3rd from last, which is grilled spatterdock. And we should see the food production kick up a lot to fill this storage, but I don't think it's going to be something that's going to you know, take too terribly long for them to accomplish. We're just going to have to you know, do what we got to do. All right, so this being here is fine. I actually, you know, didn't I didn't consider that this is still going to have to be this is still going to have to be irrigated, so I can't concentrate when that sound is going. We are going to have to. Can I even get a ladder down here? I can. Okay. We're going to have to come in here, and I'm going to have to open up underground so I can properly bury this. Gonna have to have. Which way is the ladder actually facing? Okay, that way. Gonna have to have this just come in like this at the very bottom, because that's going to open up underneath this, and then I can close that. I should have done that from the beginning, but you know how it goes. Now I can turn that back on. Why do I have a... What do you... Okay, the unconnected building. Oh, I don't have the path going that way. Okay, that's easily fixed. Alright, let's get that put in place there. Looking good. We're getting real close. Getting real close to having this be finished, folks. And then all of the wood will, you know, recover appropriately. Go ahead and grab these platforms out of the way. Platforms out of the way, and then the final 2 large warehouses. Again, I'm not going to worry about berries. This is item number 4. That's not berries, which is going to be the grilled chestnuts. And then this is going to be the next one, which is grilled potatoes, which are grilled potatoes. So yeah, food cave. Neat. Wow, look at all these guys go. Okay, let's make sure these are all set for obtain, and we can prioritize those just to keep this thing operating. And then once we have a tank for water, or a couple, then we can unpause these and we can start having some beavers move in here. We can make some more beavers. Like, we can sustain a lot more than 150 beavers, folks. We definitely have the technology to do that. So, food cave, I'm going to consider to be complete. It's hidden. You know, they haven't, they were doing this from on top of these. They haven't finished the rest of this yet, but we'll get that taken care of for too much longer. I suppose it's probably about time to put in a link to the top here, where we can put in some lumberjacks, or at least one, to cut all these trees down, get some extra wood, which we know we're going to need and definitely use. I'm going to pause this terrain block so they can build all of these. Should have no problem getting that done. Go ahead and get this unpaused. We can get that put in place. I do like this. I think there is a mod that allows you to color buildings. I do not have it, but maybe that's something I should do for one of the future series. We'll see. Let's come and check on this. They have not done that yet. Too far from a district. Is it because this isn't connected at all? Oh, they can't get into it. They can't get into this. Oh, man, that's a pain. Because this thing's in the way here. And that is actually a ladder? Really? So I don't see rungs. No, it is. Okay. Well, I'm not going to delete this, thing, so I guess probably what's going to make the most sense is, we're just going to have to, for the sake of what we're doing, get rid of this Lido and then put this down the Lido hole. Just give them an opportunity to get that fixed up. But at least I know I can get rid of... Come on. I can get rid of these ladders here, and I can fill this space in. This is, all the way down at the bottom now? I guess it is. Okay. Yeah. I will just, I'll just pop that there. That'll be the easiest thing to do. Just let them do what they gotta do there. Alright, this is in place, which means this is ready to be gone. Let's come grab all these pieces of, stuff here. In fact, well, maybe I don't need to get rid of all this stuff on the inside here. Yeah, there's really not that much. Now, what we do have a lot of, if I get to the correct height... Oh, yes, we have so many of these, and none of these need to be here. Somebody may have actually left that as a comment before, and I did not acknowledge it, but we are definitely going to come get rid of all of these, because we can definitely use all of these planks to fill up the plank storage and make it so we don't have to worry about any of this garbage ever again. Or at least, hopefully. Yeah, so we're gonna be completely full up on planks. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Just come. Oh, look at them go! Look at them go! They're like ants. Well, they're beavers. They're not ants. Is there an ant-based game similar to Timberborn? I don't know. Could be interesting, but regardless, you're going to see these numbers absolutely skyrocket, which is going to help in terms of retaining logs, because right now we're trying to refill this enormous plank storage that honestly we really don't need to have. But we already look at these guys. I love watching these guys come in. Look at this. I mean, we have 433 bots, so I guess that's something. How do I have... Okay, I got 434 bots. How do I only have 400... Oh, okay, they're out of fuel. That's right. We had that. That's fine. So how close is this going to get to getting full? Because I don't think it counts the planks as being in storage until it's actually physically in there, even though it's already been allocated to it. So I guess we can just watch this number continue to go up. It'll only hold 2,200-ish. I know there's a little bit here, but I kind of want to leave that alone for now. This space here doesn't have much. I don't think we really need to mess with it. This is at 1,900. Yeah, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. There's all these picked up. This tunnel's a lot less long, looking at it now, than it was when we actually built the thing. Well, look how slow they're going down this thing, but the tail is still flapping majestically. Alright, so that's going to go in there. Those are going to go in there. That'll solve most of those problems. And that's going to make this a very simple but a very effective change that we've made. Love to see that. Wow, really? Cut all those trees that quick? Okay. So what about all these up here? We'll go ahead and do that. Just get these marked. I know some of these are not really convenient to get to, but that's also a tree that can be done. That can be finished. Let's give these guys a pathway here. And then, of course, we'll have to put a ladder in this corner so they can get up to there. Alright, once we have more water coming in here, we're going to have a much better idea what this area is going to look like eventually. Just going to take some time. But we do have almost almost full food over here. And I think I have the ability to go ahead and just put some tanks over here. I'm going to make this a water tank, and then I suppose go ahead and just blast this out as well because it's already here, and I can make it 2 water tanks just for the power of symmetry. Then we can pump some more water out of that reservoir, and we can have some more storage and stuff right over here for these beavers that are never going to have to do anything ever in their entire lives. How are we looking here? Okay, so that goes that way. And that goes up to there, so I'm pretty sure this is going to be taken care of for the rest of time. Please nobody be stuck down in there. That would be a very boring, very stupid way to die. I don't think that's a problem, though. Is that open down to the bottom? Yeah. Come grab these planks. Oh, did they fill up the plank storage? Looks like they did. Alright. Or mostly. There we go. Okay. So this can get the Lido right back where it was. Make sure I match the stairway thing. Yep, there we go. That's looking good. This can go away, this can go away, this can go away. We get our planks back. This is already a very, very good improvement. I'm going to simplify the pathing here. At least a couple of you pointed that out. That needed to be looking a little bit nicer. In fact, I'll do you one more solid. Do you one more solid. Just have that go that way. So we don't really need that over here quite yet. Still some more stuff we can do. Keep in mind we do still have this aqueduct here that isn't quite perfect in terms of what I've been trying to do here, but I don't think I need to really mess with too much of anything besides taking this bit out here. I think is probably going to be fine. I just want it to, you know, fall all the way down. I guess this doesn't really have to still be like that, but it's probably okay, probably fine. Oh, I was going to keep filling this in, and then I completely forgot. Shocker. That has absolutely never happened. So I was trying to remember exactly what it was that I had said I was going to do last episode and didn't do. So it's very easy to get distracted when you're having fun with the beavers. So that has to stay at exactly that height. That's fine. We can let that be what it's got to be. Is it really going to let me build that there? Is it really going to let me build that there? Like, obviously I can't go there, but if they could just, you know, kind of phase through the bottom of that, that's, it's a little weird. Like, I get it because it's on a slope. They're not going to have the ability to really, you know, completely fix everything, but what a concept, man. What a wild concept. I guess we'll come back to that at a little bit of a later point in time, but I did say that I would abide by your requests to not completely modify the wall, just kind of close it in as it had been, or maybe previously. That's strange to look at from above. So to that end, I suppose it's probably smart just to go ahead and, thank you, autosave. Just put bits and pieces in here as we can. I know they can't really get up to this, but I do have the ability to have this, I think, enclosed entirely. Yeah, okay. That'll work. Just have to be able to... Oh, come on, lag. Yeah, we'll just get this whole thing closed in. And then the ladder is going to be what the ladder is going to be. I'm actually going to put a different ladder in right up to here, so they can actually reach everything, and then just keep filling in these little bits and pieces. Yeah, obviously we still have to be able to, you know, get through the hole in the wall. I don't want to get rid of that. I think that's kind of cool. But it's definitely definitely a lot of stuff to keep up with here. We're going to have to keep coming back to that. This is ready to go. That is about to be ready to go. This one can no longer reach anything anyway, so that's fine. Go ahead and grab that I suppose. Can that reach all of those? Yeah, that's fine. That'll work. Put in our second tank here. I know we're still very, very, very low on wood. That's a problem we are working to solve. Now that the tank storage, the plank storage is basically full. Gear storage is basically full. Paper storage is getting there. Somehow, the punch cards are still never enough. I mean, alright, we got 430 bots. I really shouldn't be complaining. Book storage is full. That is something that we could actually put another little book storage over here. But I don't really have a place to do it unless... Well, okay, the game kind of treats books as food anyway. So, alright. Okay, so here's the idea. Here's my idea. Let's put in this here. I'll just make a 1200 storage for books. Why not? Oh, but you don't have enough logs. Look, it's not always going to be like this. It's going to be fine. We'll get it taken care of. This is a lot of trees, and we probably could and maybe should still put in additional tree farming. But I'm pretty confident once we stop doing just insane projects constantly, these are still going to be enough trees. We can supplement with the help of some additional lumberjacks in various locations. Let's go ahead and put in this. We'll get these marked. Should probably have harvested these a very long time ago. But you know how it goes. This will get us a couple hundred, maybe. 100, 150. That'll work. Oh man, I still need to fix all this mess. I don't know. That's gonna be a whole thing. There are some trees up here, not a ton. Maybe I do need to do. I was really trying not to do another tree farm because those are a bit annoying to get set up. But again, you know how it goes. B for boom. We got 3.3 days left. Okay, this looks really straight, and I don't like that. Well, not too much else I can do about it. There are still some trees over here. I mean, if this is gonna stay irrigated, then maybe it makes sense to have a tree farm. I'm not entirely confident that this can stay irrigated for an entire drought. 30 days is a very long time. And while a completely full 2-deep reservoir theoretically won't evaporate in 30 days, in practice it usually does, because of all the angles and the corners and stuff involved, and if you're pumping or whatever out of it. But we probably could justify having some more trees over here. Oh wait, these areas aren't even fully utilized for planting in the first place. Alright, well, I'll tell you what. We're going to fix that real quick. I know it's just a few more trees, but every little bit matters. I left extra space here for extra lumberjacks, but probably aren't going to need them. Probably not going to need them. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. I think finally we are able to... Got that all done? Good. We're going to be able to start moving some beavers in here, so... I'm going to slowly... I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter if none of the beavers are working anyway, but we don't necessarily have to have a whole bunch of birth and death waves going on. We can just ever so slowly ease back into this, get some more stuff going, put some more decorations. They have all the food they could ever want, all the different varieties, and very, very soon they're going to have books to nibble on as well. Just get that set there. I know that's going to cause all sorts of log problems, but over time, it'll get better. It'll get better. I can't help but think back to somebody who left a comment saying, hey, you know you can just put terrain over the top of this and you're never going to have to look at it ever again and you won't have to complain about it being ugly. You're a very smart person, whoever said that. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do, because I kind of don't want to spend a lot of time in the twilight of this series just building something like that. Unless you guys want to see it, then we can make it happen. But I think there's a little bit better stuff we can do. That being said, we definitely could use some more printing presses. The punch cards seem to be completely unable to keep up. Yeah, see, I just, I don't think I'm going to need to have so many of these explosives factories now. I do have 650 dynamite stored up. I don't think there's going to be too much more blasting. How long have these guys been over here? It's probably something I put in last episode and then completely forgot about. We can go ahead and get that. Why did I set this up like this? What am I doing? What was I thinking? Anyway, those are connected now, so that's going to be able to get these trees. Again, I don't really know why I did that way. I don't know. It's been a while since we played this one. There's been other series that we've been working on in the meantime, so maybe I just don't quite have it like I used to. Okay, we're down to 6 free beds with 10 kits. I'm going to go ahead and open up the next lodge. Get those guys moved in there. I feel pretty confident we're not going to need to have this stack of ladders anymore, so that can go away. That's going to be a stack of planks and stuff we can grab. They don't have to make anymore. Depending on how we want to do the rest of this, I guess we can have a tree farm. I guess it's fine. And this actually wouldn't be a bad place to have it. We just would want to have a little bit better access over here. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead. Let's get up here, cut these down, these oak trees. Then I suppose we can go ahead and just blast this, make it nice and simple. Just blast this whole thing out of here. Give them a little bit of a fighting chance to get all those things. And then if, big if, this is actually going to be properly irrigated, then it's not going to be a problem to have, what's it called? No irrigation. Just kind of leave it as it is. So I'm going to have this entire thing marked here before everything is ready to go. And I suppose we can go ahead. Look, I'm swarming around like ants. Let them get the rest of this stuff taken out, and then we will detonate. Then we can start planting some more trees. Still plenty to get done. Have 8 beds. Go ahead and open another. That's the roofing. You can't pause that. I can only unpause the double lodge. There we go. It's a little bit more to go. Get that last log out of there. Put this dynamite in place. Then we'll hit B for boom. And see what happens next. Because we only have 0.7 days until this starts filling up again, and we're going to get a pretty good idea pretty quick of what we're working with here. Alright, come on. One more. I know somebody over here. There you go. There you go. Alright, let's hit B for boom. Perfect. Wonderful. Now, this should, if I put a forester somewhere in the middle here. Yeah, see, that is going to reach... Actually, not as much as I thought. If I flip that there, but that's not really very centralized. This is more centralized, even if we're not going to plant down here. This is more centralized. That's going to be fine. I'm not going to have a zip line going over here because I kind of don't want to. Actually, maybe I should. Maybe I should. Well, we'll leave space for it, I suppose. Just go ahead and put in, yeah. 2 of those there is probably fine. 2 of those there is probably fine. We don't really need to worry about saving space. It's not like they're going to run out of it. So those are all for bots, right? Okay. This guy doesn't need to be here. Alright, cycle 52. Let's see what you got. See what you got here. I'll go ahead and keep opening some of these lodges, get those numbers up. Yes, I know there is nothing for you to cut. It's not always going to be this way. How much more do we have to have? Okay, so we got to have like another block and a tenth to actually have something coming out this way. But that's fine. It's not really going anywhere else. It should be... They got all those trees out already? Sheesh. Yeah, they have a voracious appetite for trees today. Already passed it, didn't I? There we go. There we are. So it's still letting stuff out here, but a lot of it's coming this way. That is totally fine. This is almost certainly still going to be completely overflowing by the end of this temperate cycle. Maple syrup. Maple syrup. What's going on with maple syrup? Why do we only have 9? What are we, we go... Oh, it's because they keep making all of these maple pastries. Alright, well that makes sense. I know our production of maple syrup is probably completely sufficient. For normal circumstances, they're just trying to make a whole bunch real quick. We won't hold that against them. Where is my other 200 store of bread to get that up to 2,900? Huh. Oh, okay, there's one over here. That's... it's fine. I don't really need to be worried about it. So this is going to continue filling up. We already have this here. That's fine. That's what it's supposed to be. All of our clean water is going this way, which, you know, I can manually close, or I can have this set to close above a downstream depth, which... Wait, they never put these, they never put these terrain blocks in. Alright, okay, they can't reach that. I guess I could have solved that problem by doing that. But one of these... Yeah, see, I didn't do myself any favors here by putting this sluices all the way back, because now this is never going to shut off when I might actually want it to keep going and fill this up here, but eventually it'll be fine. This is actually filling up a little bit faster than I thought it would. Well, at any rate, this will be enough to start planting some trees. I will... Man, see, what am I to do about... I guess I will just... I'll just put a zipline station in here. What the heck? I know this isn't going to connect up here because it's 39 meters. But it would connect... It would connect to another station I could put over here. And if we're going to put another one of these foresters, whatever, over on this side, then I guess it probably makes sense to have a zipline station. I don't know. I kind of like avoiding really complicated things. Making it harder for, you know, no real reason isn't always something I particularly enjoy doing. I know, gasp. You played so much water beavers. Well, sometimes suffering is fun. Not like that. Those of you, I know who you are. So if I put a zipline station there, obviously this isn't going to be perfect. I will have to put a little bit of a jog over here. But that will work out quite nicely to get that connected there, get that connected there. This should go easily above the trees. We should be able to plant those. No, that's the wrong button. Thank you, lag. I'll just go ahead and, you know, get these guys started. And then I won't have to have these paths all the way over here. This is now connected, which means that doesn't have to be, which means that doesn't have to be, which means this doesn't have to be. They can just come grab as much of this as they want. And then once this starts filling up, they're going to be in pretty good shape. I think. Maybe. Actually, seeing how this is set up, I'm going to do slight reconfigure here. And I'm going to get rid of these and just kind of leave that as it is there. That's probably fine. I don't think we're going to need more than 4 or 5, but I have so many extra bots that, you know, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Alright. Let's get that all the way across here as best as we can. I know they're not going to be able to reach all this. It's totally fine. Now we're about to see some water come in this way. Still filling this up. I don't think there's anywhere else for it to go, so no real surprises there. This can have the suspension bridge removed. Looking fine. Here comes some more water. Very, very nice. Very, very slow. That's fine. Apologies for this being irregular, but, you know, it is what it is. Gonna give these guys something to do. I suppose I should just, you know, consign myself to continuing to do this over here. So why don't we just pop that there. I'll just go ahead and build another zipline station, which they're definitely going to need to have builder access to actually construct. I just thought of that. So that's why the game's paused. How did I... Okay, I guess this is fine the way it is. Just go ahead and put that there. Make sure these are all... They are marked for cutting. And then I guess I will just have to have temporary over here. Get that connected. Oh, I did it myself. What if I did this? See, this isn't going to play nice here. That's not going to play nice there. Even how close is it? Okay, that's barely better. Oh, that's a problem. Okay, well, the easiest thing for me to do here is just to remove this, go ahead and attach that, and then try to squeeze the forester in another spot. So if I remove both of those, it will not fit there, not fit there, it will fit there. So that's what I'm going to do. I know it's... I've made the ugly. I've made it just so ugly. But that is... that's the way she goes. And then they can actually, you know, build the rest of this. That's fine. Once this gets built, it's not like that's going to matter anyway. Let's go ahead and get that there. Yeah, this is not nearly as streamlined efficient as this design here. Sorry, not really. But that's fine. Gonna be alright. Just get these popped in there. It's good to go. Get the pathway out of there. Get some more trees planted. Very, very simple. Alright. And we do have 1.9 days. This is not going to fill unless I pull a fast one here and just close this. That is going to turbo speed this one, unless I close that one, which is going to force everything out of here, which is going to, until it evens out, spill a little bit, then come out this way, and that should push us up over the edge. Noted for the future, we are going to have some more stuff taken care of here. Get that triple lodge open. Probably worth closing this over here. After a certain point, there was some sort of shenanigans that I was briefly considering, and you guys had some ideas in the comments as well about how to shut this off and keep, past a certain point, keep the water coming from this area going in here to fill this up. You know, I could also just blast a sluice in, like, underneath this thing here. Would probably be totally fine. See how the water is coming in on this level. That is underneath what we're looking at. So, again, it's possible. And I might actually end up doing that depending on how this fares, how long this next drought is. That could be another question I could just pose to you guys, see if you want me to do that. But those of you who wanted your other tree farm, you got your wish. There's more trees. We got more stuff going on here. I know there's still a lot more to build with actual, you know, buildings and other stuff. I don't think we're going to need another food farm necessarily in this area, but I did promise you guys we're going to do some more stuff, and I know while it's been mostly focused on putting in the storage for the stuff and getting these new trees, I do still have ideas for this area, and then especially up here. I guess, you know, one last thing to talk about. This central tower, I know we still have stuff to do over here. We're going to get there. But this central tower, a lot of you guys seem to really like the idea of making this kind of like an evil tower thing, and then putting the Earth Cultivator on top of it. Some Lord of the Rings references in the comments and all that good stuff. But I think that's a really, really fun idea. I cannot remember if we've talked about this in a video before, but I would love to do that. We're just going to have to make sure we can do everything with the build limit, the height limit and all that. So, we will see. We will see. If you have any other specific ideas, I'm always all ears. Obviously, we still have to continue filling in this part of this wall here. That is a process to be sure. And I may end up next episode having to time-lapse a lot of this stuff. Just, you know, out of respect for your time and mine, to get as much of this just taken care of as we possibly can. It is a very long process. Very, very, very long process, especially toward the end of the series here. And time slows down, progress slows down, and then you find yourself asking yourself, well, what are we actually doing here? What are we supposed to be doing? But I do still have a pretty clear vision of what I want to accomplish up here and a couple other places as well. Just takes time, so you know how it goes. I am pretty happy to have this substantially improved. We have a higher water storage thing here. I think this is about to probably flow off. It's not draining yet. This is about as high as this is ever going to be. Maybe a little bit higher than this, to that 0.65 or whatever, 0.66. If it's 0.5, then I don't know. Maybe I just need to, you know, learn more about the game I've been making 1,100 videos of. But this is going to have to be, I think, a good spot for us to end today's episode. But, like I said, there's still plenty more to get done. At least a couple more episodes of this series. Again, I don't want to rush it. We've had a really, really fun time with this, and I would like to make sure we end it properly. So, we do still have a little bit coming here. How long is the drought? 20 days. All right, that's going to be a fun challenge for us to deal with next time in terms of managing all this water in these new areas without putting any other irrigation in. But I think we're going to be okay. I think we'll be fine. All that being said, it is time to end the series. End the episode. Don't worry. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos, giving lots of helpful ideas. Pointing out stuff that I'm doing wrong is always allowed. Like, I'm not going to ever complain. Well, I might complain, but I'm not going to ever tell you off for pointing out when I make mistakes, because that's how you learn. That's how I learn. It's how most people learn, or at least a reasonable enough amount of people for me to make a comment about it. Anyway, your support is vital to these series, whether that's just you being here, leaving a comment, or if you're on the Beard Booster list, you see all those folks. Every name who has ever, in any way, contributed financially to the upkeep of the channel, making it possible for me to invest a whole bunch of time and energy into doing this on top of everything else I have going on. So those folks keep the channel sponsor-free and make it possible for us to just enjoy playing games and having a good time. That's what I think YouTube should be about. It doesn't have to be a super corporatized, just slop fest of just having a good time, making a nice, friendly, positive community, because you know the world needs that right now. And I am just very, very glad we get to do this together. So, whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you back again soon for more of this series, more water beavers, and more of the Iron Teeth on the Diorama Population 1000 Challenge. I love this game. I'm glad we get to do this. Have a good time, friends. Bye-bye.